The shot is Carolina. Hey, what do you say?
I was just seeing how long you guys would go. You guys are still doing it. All right, we're in here.
But he just keeps grabbing it.
Cody keeps grabbing different beverages.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Oh, fuck.
I got coffee right here.
You're up, Jake.
The rotation's completely fucked.
It's all fucked.
Bro,
Talkin
you
Sauce, episode 63. We're back
3.
as conventional as ever. What's going on?
Nothing much, man.
What's new?
Been
What's new
chilling.
in the world?
What's new?
Got a haircut, dude. I'm so excited about it. And that's really the
Yeah.
most exciting thing that's happened in like the past.
Where'd you get a
month and
haircut?
half. The guy who cuts my hair. I get like he doesn't really have like a
Cody
name
doesn't watch
so
our
much.
content, dude. He doesn't.
I know.
Nope.
It's shaking my head, dude.
You don't
But it's
know.
just like a guy. He has like a little studio, I guess you'd call it. I don't
Yeah.
know. A barber shop. I don't know.
I was thinking about that because I know like salons aren't open right now, but I was like, man, I want to call the guy that cuts my hair and see if he'll do it in his house.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
this
what a
the
lot
place.
of people are doing.
Yeah, the place I go to is literally like it's like one seat in the. He does like one person at a time. There's no waiting rooms or nothing. There's like he was telling me about it. There's a whole set of guidelines for reopening your salon or whatever it is.
Right.
So
Which I guess, they can't do just yet, right?
I guess
No.
I think especially like
Phase
great
two.
clips and sports clips like
Yeah,
those
so, like,
places.
Salons are the same tier as like gyms and tattoo parlors. That's like
Yeah.
the phase 2 or 3 thing.
Exactly. So, yeah. What about you, Dylan?
I got this guy.
Oh,
What is his name?
So cute.
His
His name's Marvin,
Marvin.
and he's a black lab.
He's
and
starving Marvin.
He's Marvin the Martian, my guy.
Marvin the Martian.
Marvin the
Starving
Martian.
Marvin.
And he's 5 weeks old.
He will be under Dylan's care, that poor dog.
He's going to be a good man. He's going to dominate the universe. Yes, he will.
Just the more.
Hold him up again.
Bam.
Oh.
So do you know how old he is right now?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Did you say that and I'm dumb?
Yeah.
You're
not
okay.
dumb. He
Yeah.
was born. He was born April 1st
Oh, nice, dude.
when he came through.
April Fools.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not a
Told you
real
about
dog. He's a ghost.
Just
He's
throw
gone. No.
This is stuffed animal.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Good
great.
job.
Thank you. Thank
You have
you.
a son. You have responsibility now.
Yep.
Yeah, I do.
You got to keep that dog alive, dude.
I know, dude. It's going to be great.
Full disclosure, Dylan was responsible for the deaths of all of our family pets growing
It's
up,
true.
so
It's
there's
true.
Directly.
not a chance.
On some like serial killer shit or just like neglect?
No, just like uncaring, lackadaisical, negligent type stuff.
It's like
Neglect,
forgetting that he can't just hold it underwater for 3 minutes or something like that.
Stuff
Just real
like that.
real negligent shit like that.
Leaving the oven on, door down, things
Yeah.
like that.
Dylan would have to put a disclaimer up, just like this is not true.
Nah.
That's right.
I do have to go put him back though. So
In
carry
the
on.
oven.
Okay.
In the oven.
All right, guys. So
shout-
how are we getting Dylan off this podcast? What's the plan for?
What does he
kicking him out?
do?
I think he just kind of shows up. He sends the invites. We have him here to
I mean,
send the
he's
invites.
desperate enough to where he has to bring a puppy on to try to just
He's
like
like,
have
guys,
any
keep
sort of
me,
contribution.
keep me.
Yeah.
But
What?
Shouts out that puppy.
Shouts
So-
out that puppy.
Shouts out Marvin.
So speaking of haircuts, fucking North Carolina went to phase 1
Yep.
of opening back up, which the biggest things of that is retail stores can now kind of reopen with like 50% capacity.
which who goes to retail stores anyway? Like just buy it on Amazon.
Did you
That's,
see that? Did you see the
well,
line
right now
for
probably
TJ
a
Maxx?
lot more people, probably more because it's hard to get shit online right now.
I
For
guess.
real? Did you see the line for TJ Maxx in Raleigh? I just saw pictures of
No.
it on Twitter. Dude, it was
See,
like
that's just
wrapping
hype.
around the block. It was
So
fucking
stupid.
crazy, dude.
That's just hype. Like I'm not
For
even
real.
tripping
Yeah,
on
for
the
real.
social distancing thing. It's like you
Yeah.
don't even need to go to TJ Maxx that
Exactly.
bad. You're just
real.
stoked that you can go.
Yeah.
For
Right.
real.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
what do that many people need?
Low key, there's
TJ
probably
Maxx
some like
right now.
reopening sales. I'm sure.
I
But,
think
hey,
what
but also
happened.
too, going back a few pods ago, what did I say, man? People are going to be eager to spend.
Yeah.
Very true.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
That stimulus check is still fat.
that too. Want to get the fuck
Mhm.
out of the house. But anyway,
Yeah.
to that. The other side is now there's no differentiation between non-essential and essential workers, which I don't think there ever really was. If you had to work, people were leaving their houses to work, which you got to do. I mean,
Right.
not everyone can work from home, and not everyone can just live it by not working. So
Mhm.
is what it is. And this whole phase 1 thing's supposed to last till basically the end of the month. I think like the 22nd, 25th, somewhere in there. And then we'll go to phase 2, which I then think is places like salons, restaurants
Right.
can start opening with capacity or limited capacity. But I mean, are you guys ready for this? Do you guys think that it's okay to do this? Probably going to stop working from home soon for some of us.
Yeah, I mean,
I will. I mean, so I know that our company's doing they're allowing up to like 6 people to sign up to work in the office per day. And basically, I mean, our office is way big enough where we can
I
move
bet
all the
that
desks to
fucking
the sides.
line to sign up for that sheet's just people are crawling over each other to get to that, right?
So I'm probably going to go a couple days this week just because I need to get the fuck up and I need my stand-up desk because I'm just on the phone the whole day. I'm tired of sitting down.
Jacob, have you been back to the office at all?
Nope.
Wow.
It's been quite a while. I just to go
Have you
grab
had-
stuff. I needed to work, but
Could you work there if you wanted to?
right now that
Yeah.
like it's reopened,
Or just
I
like
don't think
at
so
any
yet,
point
actually.
at any point prior, would they have let you?
Nah.
Oh,
They had, but we still had a certain number of people that were required to work in office. They couldn't work from home. So
Not to be like all, but don't you guys own that building?
no. We
You share it?
yeah, we
Okay.
rent 2 of the 4 floors basically.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah. So we're still going like pretty strict CDC guidelines and everything, but I'm pretty sure it's up to each individual
Can you say who's your building like managing?
I probably could if I knew off the top of my head, to be honest, but
To be honest, I can't remember ours either. It's like one of the big ones.
I have no idea.
yeah. Well, I get emails from them occasionally for like the fire alarm testing, that
Just
kind of
wondering
shit.
if we had like the same one, because ours has been like, I feel like ours has been like super lackadaisical.
Yeah. Ours has too.
They just put at the entrance, at least to the back door, they just put a hand sanitizing thing.
Oh wow! Okay, no, they had been all over that. So
Yeah.
we had hand sanitizer
And you could just
everywhere.
pick that mother.
Oh,
You skipped up.
Oh, I got some serious Call of Duty lag just then.
mad lag. That's
Mad
new.
lag. We're back.
But we had
though.
the
We're
same
back.
thing that just like a tower you could just take. I thought about it every day. I was like, I could just hand sanitizer. It could just be
For real.
mine.
Exactly.
Oh, the best thing about
man.
everything reopening, I guess, is we got real sports last night.
Yes.
Where was that fight? Did I see it was in Florida?
Yeah, it was in Jacksonville. Pretty sure it was in Jacksonville.
Nice.
So crazy card too, stacked kind of top to bottom. Bunch of real good fights. I don't know if you guys saw Francis Ngannou knock this dude out in like 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's the one highlight I saw. Right. at the
Just
beginning
that
of the
giant motherfucker.
fight. Haymakers.
For
Those
real.
were like non-extending, like arm already out, like windmill punches.
For real. Dude's an absolute
merciless.
freak. We were having the conversation last night. Would you rather take a punch from him, Ngannou, or Deontay Wilder, the boxer that fought Tyson Fury?
Neither. Like,
I mean, well, neither,
Gloveless?
obviously.
Probably
Gloveless
Ngannou.
Yeah,
Gloveless in
yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
gloveless, yeah.
I'm taking the MMA dude.
Yeah.
Really?
I would say so too, probably.
I'm taking Wilder, dude.
Well, I guess it depends because Wilder will know how to punch you and not kill you. The other dude's just hitting you as hard as he can. So but
He
if
might
Wilder
miss,
wants
too,
to,
like-
but if Wilder wants to, he can hurt you the most without trying the hardest. So it's like it's a double-edged sword, man.
for
The
sure.
other dude's on brute power. Obviously, he's got technique, but he's on brute power.
And he's also
Wilder's
a lot
boxer.
bigger than Wilder.
Ooh.
He's also got like 60 extra pounds on Wilder.
but like a small boxer can still hit like a hard jab harder than some of the strongest dudes.
No, I'm sure, but 260 pounds would just like take your head off.
That's tough.
Either way, dude, but either
You're
way, it was
dead
a
either
crazy
way.
fight.
I'll throw another one at you. I guess they get paid decently, But to be an MMA ref, like, and talking about that knockout specifically, dude, I thought that ref was gonna catch one.
Yeah. Just
not
like
letting up.
tucking, just like, please don't hit me, please don't hit me.
Yeah. Or like you come in with a hard shoulder as the ref, and like you catch him up high by accident, he just gets pissed with the testosterone flowing
Hooks off on
in
you.
his stomach. Yeah, I don't know.
Didn't Greg Hardy fight too?
Greg Hardy did fight. He won.
Hell yeah.
Wow,
How did he win? I forget,
I
honestly.
said wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are there any
TKO or
other
submission? I need to know.
Are there any other ex NFLers that are like decent right now that are fighting, or at least like somewhat
not
well
that-
known?
Not that I can think of off the top
Greg's
of
a
my
little
head.
old to be fighting too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
33, 30. He's 30 early 30s.
He said,
Yeah.
"Fuck CTE.
Yeah, for real.
I'm out here."
Fucking leaned into it.
For real.
real.
But then Gaethje beat Ferguson, which sucks for Ferguson, but that was a fucking
And Gaethje was the stand-in, right?
Yep. Gaethje took Khabib's place. I mean, he was
Yeah,
a
I think I
top
saw
five.
Khabib. I saw Khabib tweet out no comment or something like that.
Did he?
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
But dude, that was a fucking Gaethje was hitting Ferguson like, I mean, with just shots, dude. And he
Hey,
was
man.
just would not go down. It was fucking
It-
crazy.
Classic underdog. I feel like MMA is one of those things where underdogs have some weird mental advantage,
hmm
especially because it's a one-on-one situation. You know, there's all types. You know, there's money. There's money on that underdog. Where if he wins, the upset's huge and people win big. There's all types of mental advantages I feel like an underdog can have in
Yeah.
one-on-one fist fight.
Yeah. And there's the style thing, where there's so many
Yeah.
different styles of fighting compared to like boxing, where a boxer only can hit you with his two hands, where MMA is everything. But it was an excellent card. I made ribs. I got a pressure cooker. Have y'all ever fucked with those Instapots?
We
You know
have
what I'm
one.
talking
We've never
about?
used it yet.
Dude,
Same.
could
I can't
not
tell you if I have
recommend it
one or not. I
more.
don't know.
Could not recommend it more. Dude.
We have several cooking apparatuses in my kitchen.
Josh, like, I
planned
just
to
eat,
use it.
bro.
We've planned
Dude,
to use
it's-
it like 3 times, and we just never did.
Dude, in 30 minutes, I'm talking like fall off the bone tender ribs, bro. It was so good. It was so good.
Damn it! I
I have
should
a
have
new
came.
invention, the Trivection oven. You can
Yeah.
cook a whole turkey in 4.5 minutes. The size of an oven with microwave cooking speeds.
Oh fuck.
Shouts out 30 Rock.
Shouts out 30 Rock.
That's good shit. That's all good shit. Shouts out MMA. Shouts out for it was hilarious. I saw a couple highlights and the whole no crowd thing.
It was weird. It was,
It was like watching it was like being back at school and watching a fight in the bathroom.
yeah,
Just
for
all
real.
you heard were sound effects. You just heard sound effects and a couple like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just intense, especially like we watched a couple of the undercard fights, and like it was intensely quiet for like
Yeah.
all the especially the lower ones were like even the commentators aren't that hype about it. You know what I'm saying? It was one of the guys.
Jacob had one of those controversial quarantine parties last night. He had about 50 people at his apartment watching this fight.
No, not me, dude. I mean, there was.
He
less
made ribs
than
on a whole
10.
cooker in the parking lot. It was a whole thing.
I invited
go.
most of the
I didn't go.
neighborhood.
They had a whole pig.
Oh yeah.
Masks were prohibited.
Yeah, right. If you wear a mask, you're getting kicked out. That's
You're
rule
fucking.
number
You're getting
one.
your
We're
ass
gonna
kicked.
beat you up. Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
beat you up. We're gonna
Yeah.
cook you.
I'm
Were
gonna
there
give you a wedgie
people-
with the mask.
Whoa.
On that main card, were there still people walking out to like hype music and shit?
Oh, dude, they did the
Was
whole
the whole
walkout.
spectacle? Wow.
Dude, they did the whole walkout. The post fight
Lights and
interview.
everything?
Like
the big,
they didn't do like the whole lights.
See, I was about to
thing, but
say,
it's pretty
they
much
do,
because
like,
it's
yeah.
dark everywhere else. They still had everything on the jumbotron or whatever like arena they were in. At the post fight interview, they still pumped the sound through like the whole thing. And I guess from their perspective, it's like we fucking paid to rent this place out. Use
Yeah.
it all. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Well, also
Hey,
maybe
for
even as
sure.
the fighter, like there's part of that routine.
yeah, it's true too.
You need the hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The most uncomfortable. Not even the thing that would make me most uncomfortable was Bruce Buffer announcing each pre-fight.
Did he
still
still-
gave it every bit of intensity, dude.
Of
And it's
course
just
he
like
did.
there's like 22 people just like still getting low, doing like hands everywhere.
Of course,
It's
he did.
awesome.
That's
But he's a
awesome.
professional. But
Yeah,
that would make me
absolutely.
so
No quit.
uncomfortable.
One of the
He's a
best.
That's
performer.
pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, Matt, you got to think of too. He probably practices it with no one
Yeah.
around. like in his bathroom, just screaming at the mirror.
It ain't nothing to him.
It's time.
To brush my teeth.
That's awesome. Shouts out MMA, dude. Shouts out Gaethje, dude. Fucking shouts out underdogs out there, dude. For real.
Shouts out underdogs.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Um,
underdogs, these guys, CanCHELation Cup Season 2.
Yeah.
Sign up for it.
Season
Last
2,
day
sign up. There's
yesterday.
registration for. Yeah. I think I put out. No. The last day's today.
Last day's today?
I think the
But I'm
last day's
saying-
today.
But this
You
is gonna
guys
drop
didn't even
tomorrow,
register.
doesn't it?
Today
Didn't we
being
talk about
Sunday.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
this-
last day to register is today. Yeah.
Being Sunday, the 10th.
Being Sunday. Right. No, straight up. I woke up this morning. I thought today was Saturday.
That's
Straight
awesome.
up. Straight the fuck up. So
That's
I'm it's one of those days, man. It's one of those weeks.
It's one of those
Um,
months.
Did we already mention
Facts.
Mother's Day?
We
Did not done that
haven't.
yet?
We did
We
not.
didn't do it.
haven't,
We
dude.
didn't mention that. All right, well, let's do that right now. Shouts out all the mothers out there.
Love you,
Thank
Mom.
you for birthing us. Thank you for dealing with us young boys when we were young.
The only 4 listeners, well, I guess 3 listeners to this podcast.
That's true. Moms
Our
are like
mothers.
probably like 90% of our listening audience. Like our moms and then all your moms. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Not like your mom's like our moms, like our grandmas. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like
Yeah.
like your mom's the hypothetical thing. I'm talking about your mom. We are banging your mom.
Yeah, that's our whole thing. That's why we
That's
started
his joke.
this.
he bags you, Mom. 69-420.
Exactly.
There you go.
It's all true.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm making love to your mom. Dylan's disrespecting her with teabags. It's Mother's Day. You're gonna teabag a mom. on
I'm
Mother's Day,
dipping,
dude?
man.
Wait.
Squat and dip. Squat and dip.
Let me not criticize
Yeah.
the technique. Let me not criticize the technique. No, you do you in the bedroom, dude.
Hilarious.
You're good. But very seriously, shouts out the mothers out there. Thank you for being moms and all that you do. Shouts out our mothers.
Absolutely.
You know, couldn't have this podcast without you. So
Literally.
I mean, yeah.
literally.
So I want all the fans to message our mothers personally and thank them for
Here's
bringing
my
us into
mother's
the
address
world.
and
You can
phone
find
number.
Jacob's mom at.
That's awesome.
Oh fuck!
no,
But Cody,
yeah.
you said you had something. You said you had something to
Oh yeah,
tell us
the
about, bro.
fucking Star Wars news. So the Mandalorian, I think we probably talked about that. Rosario Dawson's coming on as Ahsoka, which I don't know if you guys watched the Clone Wars shit.
Mhm.
I know Dylan's watched some, but they actually just
I just
announced.
finished it recently.
Oh, nice. They just announced that Boba Fett is going to be in a couple of the new episodes.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
That's dope.
With
Awesome.
the person playing it
That's
being
awesome.
Tamora Morrison, who was Jango Fett in the prequels. So it makes sense that he would grow up to look like Jango Fett because he's a fucking clone.
Mhm.
So that would mean he survived the Sarlacc then.
Yes. So
Was that already canon that he survived?
That's
Yeah.
been a huge, like,
in
pretty much
in,
canonized
like
theory.
in the
Comics and
there's-
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. I'm not familiar with the comics as much.
Yeah, people don't really think that they're going to explore too much of that on the Mandalorian. It'll be more of like
He's just there.
right. We might get they're talking about another like spin-off show of Boba Fett that would go back and talk about all that shit. But it's just really cool because they were talking about so Tamora Morrison's been kind of connected for a while, but people didn't know if he was going to come back and play Captain Rex, Commander Cody, or just one of the random clones. But he's back as Boba Fett, so
That's sick.
yeah, I'm fucking pumped for it. They've been putting
Awesome.
out Disney Plus has been putting out some.
He did do the
Mandalorian.
voices for Rex and Cody and stuff, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
I think so. Yeah,
I mean, they always sounded like him, I assume.
right. I mean, whoever did the voice for him did them for all of them.
Well, yeah.
I'm assuming. 'cause-
Yeah.
It's
Did it
auto
well.
tune, dude.
Right.
It's auto tune.
Well, I mean,
Um,
even in the movies, the actual, not just
Yeah.
Clone Wars and shit.
Ow,
I don't
fucking.
know. Shouts out, dude.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked for that story to kind of keep going with Ahsoka and
Yeah.
see what
It's
they
gonna
do. I've
be-
been watching on Disney Plus. They have those behind the scenes
Mhm.
episodes. I've been watching those too.
Oh,
How
man,
many
I need to see
are out? I
those.
only saw the.
I think just
director's
2.
One. Okay.
There's just
I saw
2,
the first
yeah.
one.
That's the only one I saw.
I
The
also-
second one's out. I don't know what it is about,
Okay.
but
I also was watching a new show this weekend. This is probably more for Squirrel and Jacob. Did you guys watch Solar Opposites?
I haven't
Dude.
yet.
Yes.
That new Rick and Morty, that new Justin Roiland show.
I
so it
watched-
is by those same people.
It's
It's
just
it's
by
the
the one
same-
guy.
I saw the trailer. I was like, what is this fucking Rick and Morty ripoff?
Yeah.
straight up. It's like it's the same animator, and it's Justin Roiland. Dan Harmon isn't involved, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it's
hilarious.
I think it does a really good job of sticking in that same like sort of vein and audience of Rick and Morty without being like way too derivative, and like it's unique enough, and it's really good.
And it's somehow like
it's
even
hilarious.
more vulgar than Rick and Morty.
Way more vulgar, and I think that's because it's a Hulu exclusive.
Right.
You got to remember, Rick and Morty is on Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
Way more vulgar, way more graphic. So
that
all
might
those
be
Rick
my
and
alley
Morty
then.
scenes that make your jaw drop, there's like a shit ton of those.
Every episode reminds me of the Pickle Rick episode. It's just like people being cut up everywhere.
Have y'all seen the Cody? Have you seen the most recent Rick and Morty episode?
The train one.
Dude,
For some reason,
so
like
fucking good.
Yeah.
animation like that, when like it's intended to be like Saw gory but funny, for whatever reason, maybe I'm a sick fuck. That shit is hilarious to me.
Oh, it's
Like,
great.
Oh yeah,
Like Happy Tree Friends. Oh,
It's great.
God, dude,
Yeah.
I love Happy Tree Friends. That's
Yeah,
so
about
funny.
that.
so therapeutic. It's just
For real, there is something, it's like something like OCD
Murder.
satisfying about
Dude.
it.
But dude, that train episode, I love just like it's just the giant middle finger to fans. Like
Huge
fuck
fuck you to
y'all.
fans.
Like shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. Let us just make this show the way that's made it great to begin with. It doesn't have to be this deep meta analysis on
Well-
life every fucking episode.
And I think
It's
to
great.
that point, the best thing about that to me was so they, when they threw them out of the train and it was
Yeah.
like non-canon scenes. So like all of those non-canon scenes pretty much made up the entire trailer for this second half of the season. So like when the trailer dropped, everyone's like, oh, like this is gonna happen. This is gonna be a whole episode. This is a whole episode. It's literally just that scene.
Yep.
again.
Yeah,
It's
so
awesome.
good,
So
dude.
good.
It's so fucking good.
Big middle finger.
Yeah.
That being
Love it.
said, there was a lot of stuff they threw in that episode that I'm like, I want to see that episode. Like, I want to see that whole episode, dude.
Yeah, dude. More.
gotta
Give
figure that
me
out.
all the evil Morty shit.
All the evil Morty
shit.
shit.
All the Jesus Christ cum gutters, dude.
Shouts out,
Okay,
shouts
also-
out, all you Redditors and Rick and Morty fans out there.
Big facts.
For sure.
Also, too, to cap this CanCHELation Cup stuff. Yes, sign up is right now. Go sign up. There's links all over Twitter and Instagram for it. You can look at it on our shit. You can look at it on Hockey and Steve's, Kane Stats. Right now, I think there's like, including us, once we sign up, there'll be like 9 teams just in the threes league alone.
Hell yeah.
Which is going to be badass.
Yeah.
To kind of clarify that a little bit, it's going to be teams of 3. We were kind of playing around the idea with having a sub, but I don't think we're going to do that. That way you can just have a team of 3. We work out your game schedule. If someone can't participate, you have a computer. It is what it is, but you can't have 2 computers, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge if we have to get there. And if you're in the 6s division and you don't have a 3s team, you didn't sign up for the 3s team, you can still enter a 3s squad from the 6s team. That
Yeah.
3 squad can rotate any of your 1/6s or any of your 6s roster. And we can do it that way.
Yep.
So it'll be sick. Pretty stoked on
Exactly. And if you
Sign
can't
up.
find the link, yeah, just hit any of us up on
Yep.
Twitter, Instagram. We'll send it to you. It's real quick. I say that like I've done it already, but I haven't. It's real quick. It's real easy. And yeah, sign up.
Big
It's gonna be
shouts out.
sick.
that. All right, everyone shut up. Cody's in here now.
What?
Shut up.
Eh.
Yo, Mandalorian's going to be sick, though. With, like, all
Yeah, I'm
that,
so stoked.
all that
Yeah.
like, real shit coming
Dude,
back to it. Oh,
Watch that fucking shit on the shit for how they did it and shit.
Oh,
The
yeah.
directors.
As soon as you brought that up, I'm like, that's the first thing I'm doing. Once
Dude,
we
Yeah.
you get some really good shots of like how they shot some of those scenes and stuff.
love
It's
that
like,
shit.
Wow.
I love that production shit, dude.
Dude, the fucking like the Mando's like spaceship is just like the front of it is built
Sure.
and he's in it and it's all like bouncing around. And then like for a lot of their backdrops for stuff like that, they have like an actual like star background that's like moving. So it's
So
just,
there's
it's just,
like it's like
it's
a
all classic
360
shit.
screen basically. They're in like a and they put
It's
like
like-
the backdrop onto the
instead of like green screening it, it's like an actual. They're just filming the fucking backdrop.
it's wild.
It's mad practical. It's just like super fucking
Well,
practical.
and that's what I love about the Mandalorian in general is like that's Star Wars really kind of mastered the practical effect or really brought the practical effect game to the next level. And like with the Mandalorian, like that was their thing. They want
I
to
continued it.
continue.
That's why
that
the new
legacy.
Star Wars is so trash.
Exactly
Kept that vibe.
kept the vibe, dude.
I watched Rise of Skywalker the other day again. Like, it,
I still
it
haven't
was
seen that one.
It was better. You haven't seen it yet?
Yeah, not that I give a like. I mean, I know. Like I know.
Oh, you got to watch it. Come over and we'll watch it.
I gotta watch it.
It was better the second time. It was straight up better the second time, but like, and it's better than The Last Jedi, but like there's some like the key
That I
it's like
believe.
the frustrating part is all of the key moments. All of the key moments are like the most like let down thing they could be.
Mm. Isn't this how every fan felt when the first three but second three movies came out? Like the first
Yeah,
half
but no,
was-
people
the
people
prequels,
fucked
yeah.
with the first one. Like overall, people fucked with the first one. It just kind of was like a redone of A New Hope
Mhm.
in its own way.
What do you
but it was
mean, dude?
good.
People hate the Phantom Menace.
No, we're talking about the
Oh,
the
Force
new-
Awakens.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's what I thought. Or
Right.
not?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the old shit?
Are you talking about the prequels?
I was just saying. Well, I'm saying like the way y'all feel now is not the same way that fans back when the prequels first dropped felt about those movies.
Maybe
Yeah.
how I'm talking about them, but not overall. Overall, Cody's right. Yeah, the people hate the prequels. I don't
mean,
hate the prequels personally.
I don't.
I don't think the hate for
I
the
like the
prequels
Darth Maul
is as
coolest person.
intense as what I've seen for the hate for the sequels. Now, episode 1, everyone like people shit on episode 1, but
Which is so unfair.
to me, me and most people I know say Revenge of the Sith is their favorite Star Wars movie. And
Just because you actually get Vader at the end.
you get Vader at the end, but it's just
Spoiler alert.
in general, it's like the most. It's to me, it's like the most badass Star Wars. There's just
Well, yeah.
so much big shit happening. Like
Yeah, it's good.
It's just that whole scene on Mustafar is just
Mustafar
That's a great
scene
scene.
slaps, dude.
Classic.
opens up with the six space battle, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Grievous.
Grievous.
Yeah, no, for sure.
The Yoda and Sidious fight, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sick.
Yeah, that's fire. Yeah, that's fire. Count Dooku dies. Yeah, this movie's sick.
Like right away. Like
people hate.
Yeah.
People
set the
just like to
tone.
hate, dude.
people exactly. But the
But the new trilogy
sequels
sucks. I'm gonna go ahead
suck.
and hate. The new trilogy sucks.
Nah.
No, like the Force Awakens was okay. It was fine. It was really fine.
Gave me
Last
hope.
Jedi was Last Jedi just doesn't even make any sense.
Was a joke.
So
Rise of Skywalker was okay.
I like Rise of Skywalker.
What I've heard.
so
and
is,
I enjoy Last Jedi the more I watch it.
so is your complaint
That I watched like 3 times and it went down and down.
is your complaint not with like the lore that it expanded on, more with like the way it was presented, or do you hate all of it?
I guess both. My
The
thing.
Last
Both.
Jedi, it was the way the lore was expanded in The Last Jedi. With The Rise of Skywalker, it was the way it was delivered.
Okay.
And that, I mean, that
I
makes
fucked
sense.
with almost every way they went with the story in Rise of Skywalker. I fucked with almost everything. The way it was presented was probably the worst way they could have gone about it in some sense.
I feel
Some of the
that.
best moments they completely ruined the presentation.
Facts.
Like, and there were moments that like were predictable, but that was kind of the point. Is like since you knew that it was going to come, you had like a really strong gut feeling it was going to go that way. Why did they put seemingly so little into making that the thing, kind of thing?
Yeah.
On some of it,
I
but
see what you mean.
where this The Last Jedi, you're like, well, that's not how Star Wars works. I was watching Last Jedi, like that's not how this universe has ever worked ever. They did that a
Yeah.
little bit in Rise of Skywalker, but you felt along with the ride.
hmm
If that
Whereas
makes any sense.
in the fucking whatever, the 8th one. What's
Last
it called
Jedi.
again? Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi.
They're just like fuck it. We're just gonna throw this in here, and y'all just gotta go with it. You know?
And they say that in some moments. They're
Yeah.
just like, no, this is how it is. This is how it is because it can be, and it's fine. And you're just like, well, you're undoing a lot of
Because the
stuff here.
Force.
because
yeah.
of the Force. Yeah.
It's just like,
Because of the
yeah,
Force.
like when the dialogue has like plot armor, it's like,
Exactly.
damn, man, like you like, damn, they're not gonna defend that. Okay, all right, well, okay. I don't know how the fuck we just did that and got on for that long, but shouts out Star Wars.
Shouts out Star Wars.
Always, dude.
Never know.
Always.
Yo, fuck May the 4th though. That
I
happened.
feel that.
No. It's like my same thing with like Game of Thrones. Like people who don't fuck with that shit are all about that shit because it's that day, and it's
Right.
like you're a phony. Fuck you. Just
Josh is
fuck-
gatekeeping right now. is what he's
Phony.
doing.
Gatekeeping?
You're a phony.
I can gatekeep,
Phony.
dude. If there's anything that's like acceptable to gatekeep, it left in this world, it's science fiction stuff. You can gatekeep the fuck out of science fiction. That's like the most gatekeepable. That's like the OG gatekeep thing. Are you kidding me? Look at like any parody of like Star Trek fans or anything.
Dude,
You're just like, it's just some
Josh is
nerd
gatekeeping right now, dude. This is getting
Dude,
way
I'm
too
out
deep,
here.
dude.
I'm fucking out here, dude.
That's
It's these
hilarious.
16-ounce storm brews, dude.
They're giving out the cases of 16 ounces. I didn't know that.
Speaking of, let's
So-
just
You want to hop into that?
We're
Good
just-
man.
Yeah.
speaking
Jump
of
right
so
into it.
the Hurricanes are doing the world a great justice right now. Them and R&D Brewing. Yesterday they had a sale, and Cody was the one who kind of facilitated the venture for the podcast. And they were selling 16-ounce cans, 24 case beer cases. I'm fucking this all up. $15 a case. 24 beers for $15.
Can't beat
Like
that.
62 cents a
Steal.
can.
Yeah, it was 62.5 cents per can, which is
Oh.
wild because normally these things are sold for obviously $5, which is still a pretty good deal at a fucking Canes game.
Oh
This is
yeah.
not bad beer.
At a
Crispy.
sporting event for a 16-ounce beer, $5 is tough to beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went out there. You had to have exact change and cash, obviously. A lot of people were thinking we're trying to put Waddell onto some type of Ozark shit. It was money laundering. But no, I mean, he was.
Tom Dunnan's got to make up
4
for all that
cases.
money, dude.
Waddell was actually out there helping load the cases too, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Which is
So
awesome.
he
That's
was
cool.
stopping and talking to people and shit. He told me not to drink all of mine yesterday. He was like, "Don't drink them all today." And I had
You
4 of
You
those
didn't let him know
fucking
you were gonna sell them at a markup.
Yeah, you're like, Don, I'm not drinking any of these, dude. I'm reselling everything I buy.
I don't fucking
Don, you're a
drink this shit.
businessman.
Yeah,
This is profit you're looking at.
Josh, I like to think whenever you came to pick up yours yesterday, and you handed me some cash, that some people were just thinking that I was selling beer out of the trunk of my car.
Yeah.
Probably.
He makes it in his He makes it in his bathtub. It's good beer. What can I say?
A lot of people think that Storm Brew's toilet beer anyway. So
Well, they're wrong.
It's true.
It's like, I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely like your low tier type of beer, but it's like the best low tier beer there is.
well, yeah, because this has the Hurricanes logo on it.
Well, and to be honest, like, it doesn't taste that bad. It's super crispy.
Not the
It's
worst.
very
I'm not
smooth.
super
It's
picky about
refreshing.
my shit beer.
See, I am like, but I'm a little bitch. So,
Facts.
but I mean, they're basically like our unofficial sponsor. Before this pandemic, we were drinking one like every episode
You're right.
or 4.
So Storm Brew, let's be official sponsors.
Hit
I
us
got
up.
you guys. See, that's
all
right there.
mine.
That's marketing, right? What I
I'll
just
just
There it
I'll
is.
just sit this on my shoulder for the whole
Yeah,
episode.
I'll inject this shit to my veins.
did. Yeah, on camera if you sponsor it.
Don't
It's
do
mostly
that.
water. It'll be
Sounds
okay. It's like
don't
saline.
mainline beer. Don't do it.
Don't mainline Starburst.
Don't drink bleach.
Well, you can mainline Starburst. That's how you get fucked up.
The juice is loose.
The juice is loose, baby. Shouts
What
out
episode
Storm
number
Brew.
is this?
63.
63.
Speaking of,
Okay.
speaking of 63.
30 minutes into the whole podcast.
Shouts out the GOAT. Shouts out the absolute GOAT, dude. Joseph Vasicek, dude.
My guy.
My guy, 63. I mean, who else? It could be no other. Could be
For
no
real.
other. He was drafted
What
by
was Stillman?
Carolina.
Was
65.
Okay.
Thanks for
I thought
letting
he
me
was
know what
63
65
for
is gonna be.
something. Yeah, I guess so.
He may be at some point. I think he's 65 though, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. Drafted by Carolina in the 4th round in '98. So like Carolina's like second season. So he was one of the first, one of the earlier adopters of the Hurricanes logo to wear as an NHL player. He played 460 games in the NHL. Got 183 points out of all those games. Stanley Cup champion with Carolina in 2006, which I'm sure most of us remember.
Oh, yeah.
Him on that team, that run, that year. He wasn't exactly like the most point-getting type of guy. He averaged like maybe like 20, 40 points, something like that. Got injured a little bit here and there. He didn't have many points the 06 season, but that's because I think Carolina was kind of stacked.
Yeah.
At least in the lineup. I loved watching him play though. There wasn't a time where, as a Canes fan, being there live watching Joe Vasicek with the puck or away from the puck, when you weren't like, oh yeah, he looks great,
Yeah.
big,
Big motherfucker,
fast,
dude.
Mhm.
so big. And he played
Never
with a
super
little bit of an
physical.
edge.
Yeah, he said, I was gonna say never super for as big as he was. You wanted him to play like Chara
guess-
was playing back then. And he just
Well,
never
that
had
fits
that
into
type
the
of edge.
Canes whole
Yeah.
He
thing.
would he'd come in hard and quick, and so as just seeing him big like that is like, oh shit. But he come and pin you down, strip the puck away. He's
Yeah.
like a big mobile datsuit guy on defense.
Yeah, I
Type of
think
player.
we had a working theory growing up that I'm pretty sure that when he was young, he's always been like this big, and just he hurt the fuck out of some poor kid when he was young, and he was like, I can't ever go that hard again. And so he was always keeping it like 80% for the rest of his career. He was like, if
Yeah.
I go 100, like
I believe
someone's
that.
gonna die. You know what I'm saying? And it's just fucked with him ever since.
So good.
What a
So
guy.
good.
Key player. And then as we all know, tragically passed away in 2011. The locomotive plane crash.
Rest in peace.
Yep.
The whole team.
That whole team.
It's super fucking sad. We've
Yeah,
talked
big rest
about
in
that
peace.
before.
Yeah. I mean, it gets brought up a lot in the world of hockey. I mean, it's a huge tragedy to the sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those stories in general where like full teams go are just like it's wild to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Definitely. Rest in peace to all them.
Yep.
All
Rest
of
in peace to all of them. Big shouts out, Joe Voskacek, man. Thank you. 63. We out here.
Boom.
Also, too, with the Canes, fucking little anniversary action. I think, what was it, Friday? Yeah, just this
I think
past
so.
Friday, the 8th. The second year anniversary that Rob Brendanmore was named the head coach.
Oh, nice.
Best
Yeah.
decision
Shouts
that
out,
we've
dude.
had in the last 2 years, probably in the last
The cool
5
thing
years.
about it was the Canes tweeted out, this aged well, and it was the announcement tweet.
Mhm.
You go back and look at all those replies, and I was kind of part of that camp. Not that I was, scathing. Some folks were just like, "Oh, this is a terrible decision for the team. This is to save face, and this is not going to look good." And another retired player hired, which I thought, like you bring in a fan favorite in,
Yeah.
to kind of keep the team alive on the attendance.
And that
numbers
hadn't
side,
been
but-
working for us.
Yes, and to be fair, he was on the coaching staff through all those really poor seasons we were having. So
Was he not our power play coach for a while?
he was. I'm pretty sure he was.
Well, that's
And-
not great.
Yeah, not that, but
Didn't get better.
but then I mean, yeah, like you were saying though, could not have worked out better to this point.
For sure.
Like,
I don't think there's a Canes fan out there who's disappointed with the way he's been as a coach. Aside from the team's winning record, whether it's good or bad, there's
mhm.
nothing he does with the players in the team that we can observe and we have the ability to look at, and we go, and we're never just not disappointed. He's
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Every way a head coach could be to their players, he checks all those boxes. I think we talked about too, going back, there was a head coach Zoom call a few weeks ago. It was like, and all of them were former players, Berube, him, Rick Tocchet, and someone else too who had played. I think Rod, if not Rick Tocchet, was like one of the more recently retired.
Mhm.
But one of the things that was asked was about Rod's ability to kind of relate to the players and stuff like that. And I think the recency of him having played and how hard he worked as a player, I think helps connect him to players now more than most coaches in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone kind of has the idea that like the whole thing amongst each other as peers is it's all about respect.
Yeah.
In terms of who sees who where in the hierarchy of it all. Talent obviously speaks volumes, but if you don't have the respect of your peers in the NHL, and this goes for most professional situations, you're not gonna be seen as an asset or someone who's valuable to any team. And Rod always stood out that way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like he did that bike fitness test that everyone has to do before the season starts. Rod went out, did that, and I think still placed in top half of the team. And they're talking to the players, and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, you don't really have an excuse when you step in." It's like, "Oh, if my coach, like, I got to beat my coach this time. Like, you can't be the guy coming in behind the coach." So that's awesome to see. And him being so new to coaching, like you were saying, like there's nothing that we can, as fans, can complain about his coaching style. The only watching him learn on the job, like, and kind of change. Like when he first came in, when he first came in, he was kind of super reluctant to switch lines up mid-game or anything like that, really mess with the chemistry. And we've seen him more willing to do that in certain situations where
even on like a more micro level, like when it shows him talking to the press or like him talking to the room, not that he ever did bad, but or like him talking to like players one-on-one, he almost had this like awkwardness and even still sometimes this sort of like uncertainty about what he's about to say.
Yeah.
But whatever comes out of his mouth is always the right thing. And you definitely know he has a purpose and intention in mind. There's definitely coming up that shyness about it. That I don't know, maybe he's worked through it all or not, but either way, dude, he's become very quickly an outstanding head coach.
Yeah.
Could he do it on any other team?
The being a head coach?
I think so.
I think he could. I think
Eastern Conference final type finishes.
I think he's more comfortable here and a little bit looser, like knowing he probably has a little more leash in Carolina than he would have on any other team in the league. I think helps him a bit, but
you'd have to have the same amount of or comparable amount of, to not use the word control, but to have that same sort of, hey, this is my operation. You'd have to have Billy.
He's got a lot of respect from a lot of different avenues being in Carolina,
Yeah.
I think any player would respect him as a coach, but
he could go to Philly.
A whole organization. He could go to Philly.
He could go to Philly.
Be like, fuck.
I think any team would respect, like any of the players would respect him.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I don't know.
But I think he gets a lot of front office say here too. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's just the coach, he's got a lot of word in on what goes on with the team. As I'm sure a lot of them do, but
trusted voice.
Absolutely.
Yep. So happy 2 years. There'll be many more.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Hopefully a cup or three.
Something,
maybe something like that.
A quick dynasty, something,
something like that.
Yeah.
Would preach much.
For sure.
Brand Aho.
And another kind of big anniversary. We got Marty 2 years ago too, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much within about the same week.
Yeah.
What team did we get him from?
Arizona. Arizona. We traded Kruger.
Yeah.
Marcus Kruger for him.
That makes sense.
And
I think it's interesting too.
No wonder he's a partier.
Yeah, I think it's interesting though that he's been here for 2 years and he's already got a letter. Which I think is pretty cool.
When they called Martinook that he got traded, he was passed out in some ASU dorm.
Yeah. What? Oh shit. Yeah. Guys, where's my hockey bag?
I love it.
Now he's passed out in some NC State dorm. I love it.
Shouts out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Shouts out, Martin.
He did get that letter quick though, Cody. I agree. Yeah. I think part of it being we were such a young team, but especially when we first got him, he's so young and unproven.
Lag City, bitch.
Oh, was I lagging hard?
Oh, son, the hardest.
I'm
getting a message up in the middle of my shit says your internet connection is unstable. That's what I got going on.
I mean, there's a couple times through this thing, Josh, where you've looked like damn Elon Musk kid. You're like out here like.
Damn.
True. See,
I talk
you
like
throw
the
the bad
name is
Wi-Fi.
pronounced. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah,
I talk like the baby's name is said.
Yeah,
that's cold, bro.
No, you look like the error code that his name is.
Shouts out Joe Rogan, dude, for getting that motherfucker on the pod like the day after his baby's born.
For real,
that's efficient. You know
what a dad, right?
Dude, we've been over this.
He's a cyborg anyway.
It's a clone. It's all
clone.
mechanical.
Do you think Elon just sent his own clone to the interview?
Probably.
Why not?
Why? Yeah. Why wouldn't he?
A, why wouldn't he have a clone of himself? And B, why, if he did, why wouldn't he send the clone?
Is there even a
Joe
real
Rogan's
Elon
a fun
Musk?
conversation.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
but yeah, but
what if Elon Musk is multiple? What if Elon Musk is just like multiple, like little, like cyborg?
He's an enigma.
Units?
He's an enigma.
He's omniscient or whatever.
Yeah,
he's omniscient, dude. He's just fucking.
Oh, like he's controlling AI all over, like iRobot.
He is AI.
He just like materializes behind me.
He's Transcendence. He's Johnny Depp in Transcendence.
Yeah, we broke it down.
I mean, yeah.
Jesus.
That baby was born
He's
like
Jesus.
In the Matrix. They grew it.
Cum gutter.
Oh God. It's a whole thing.
I cried when I first heard that.
For real, man. Dude. Oh, Morty, come on. That's what they're called.
I never heard that either. I was like,
I never heard that.
I had heard that, but I had forgotten about that one, dude. Fuck.
I had to break it down in my head, and I was like, oh shit.
If you don't know what we're talking about when you got really sick, cut abs, and then you fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
Cum gutters.
You fill in the gap.
So the episode title, right?
Yeah.
Episode 63, Cum Gutters.
I thought you were going to say fill in the gaps,
Fill
but
in the gaps.
Oh, yeah, that works.
I don't know if we can make the title.
Oh, we go come.
Josh is just like, fuck y'all, I got to edit all this out.
Degenerates.
Dude, it's just hilarious, dude.
It's good stuff, though.
He shouts out Rick and Morty, dude. If you can say it on Adult Swim, you can say it on Talkin' Sauce. Is what I've always said.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
The FCC's not paying attention.
It's in our manifest. It's in our
Our manifest.
it's our manifest. Oh yeah, we're legit.
Yeah, if you'd like a copy of
Yeah,
that.
you gotta have a manifest.
We have a
Shit.
book of a philosophy of talking sauce and what we're here to do for the world, man. Don't act like you
Jesus.
don't know.
It's not that deep.
It is. It
It's
really
is.
is.
definitely that deep.
Always
alright.
been that deep.
So the NHL draft, right? Like, I guess the thing that confuses me is that like they're still talking about it happening, but May's ticking on through. You got to actually schedule it at some point. The whole thing is
Right.
like, oh, early June or around the time it was scheduled to happen. Is it though? Is it actually though?
I don't know. See, I was going to ask y'all, do you think this is just the only way that they're able to stay in the news right now is to keep this conversation going?
I think
That's probably a big part
it.
of it. Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's that
definitely.
and then the whole, potential playoff thing that we'll get into. But those are the really only two topics to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see it just to see anything hockey right now, I guess, especially if they do it over Zoom somehow. I imagine that's a nightmare with how these kids are spread across the globe.
Mhm.
I'd like to see it just, know who go.
Yeah, I was going to say what's interesting. I mean, they were talking about the issues of medical staff not being able to evaluate people for the NFL draft.
Yeah.
For damn sure they're not going to be able to do it for these kids coming into the NHL
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I don't know, like, and then how we were kind of talking about, I think it was last week, all the different stipulations that would have to be put in place to let certain draft picks happen in certain places. Like, it seems like they're just trying to stay relevant, and then they're going to push it back to the end of the season or close to the end of the season.
Yeah.
If the season even happens.
Yeah.
Which
I
it
think
seems like we're getting close to. We're getting
Yeah.
close to the possibility. I mean, nothing concrete is out there yet, just like with this draft. But
I just
you know,
want a date. Like, I want a plan. I want something to look forward to.
Exactly.
Like,
You
We're all
want a
getting impatient
solid
as fans.
statement,
But at the exact same time, I guess the whole thing is what I don't appreciate is like the teasing of it is like
Yeah.
the idea of like this is what we're gonna do. Like just be more honest with
Exactly.
with the realistic notion that you simply have no clue,
right.
just like us. Because none of you just because you're high paid executives doesn't mean you have any fucking medical inside. None of us do. None of you do. You know what I mean? You're probably making phone calls and stuff. You're probably a little closer to the fucking to the loop than we are. But the point is that this thing gets better when it actually gets better, not just a week trend isn't going to be enough. You know what I mean? And it is getting
Exactly.
better. It is slowly getting better, and that's the great news. But you need more time, you need more data. I don't know.
No one knows. That's the thing. No one knows.
That's just it. Don't
That's
know.
that's the theme of this whole well, maybe not the theme, but a big takeaway from this whole situation is no one knows what the fuck's going on or what's going to happen.
And I think that's why we've been proponents of kind of just not forcing it back because you just don't know.
Exactly.
It seems not worth the risk.
And because at this
As
point,
bad as that sounds, as boring as that sounds.
yeah, at this point too, though, if we continue this season, it's pushing back next season too, isn't it? Like,
In
how
some
far?
way.
How many seasons are you willing to alter for ending this season? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd
Yeah.
rather just have, if possible, the full slate of games next year, and just the season. It sucks. It is what it is.
I try not to agree with it, but there's that argument of like, when the lockout in 06, 07, the season after the Canes, whatever, like the season that was one of the seasons where it just ended. It was due to a
Yeah.
lockout. You know what I mean? But it just ended, and I'm not gonna say the league didn't suffer from it, but the comeback was a lot more. It'd be fine. It would be fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
would be fine.
But there were also a lot of rule changes coming out of that lockout too that like shifted the dynamic of the league too, which
True.
I think I'm just, like definitely comparable, but I do think a little different.
It's
too.
the only thing we have to kind of
Yeah.
compare it to, as far as
Yeah.
like when the season just dead stopped
Yeah.
and did not
Absolutely.
have a resume. There was no resume button on that year.
Yeah.
So
Crazy stuff, man. It'd be another blank spot on the cup.
yeah,
It'd be the second ever blank spot on the cup.
just a giant NA.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they did that. I didn't know if they just like skipped over that year or if they left it blank.
There's one. It's like an old team.
Spanish
Or
food.
old year, not old team.
It's probably not
the
on the cup
80s.
now, right?
But I think it still is, actually. I think the
Oh,
only
really?
reason I say that is because they brought on that Two Bears, One Cave with Segura and Kreischer I watched. They just brought the Stanley Cup in one time. They just like apparently the NHL hit up Tom Segura and was like, "Hey, you wanna do something with the cup?" And he was like, "Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah, bring it
Please?
through, yeah." And there's
Yo, NHL, nothing's going on. You want to hit us up? Ask us if
Yeah.
we want to do anything with the cup. Let us know.
Yeah.
We're-
Pass the cup
We're here.
around, dog.
I think they like put the season year, and then it's just like
Blank.
blank next season year.
Right.
Mm,
But
I feel that.
Yeah.
There you go.
I respect
Write
that.
my
That's
name
some
in
real
Sharpie right
hockey shit to do.
it happened, but nothing happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
We have record of it, and nothing happened.
Okay.
Very,
Next season.
very Caucasian of us. Yeah.
Very European.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with the draft. I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see what happens with the season. You might get the draft before the end of the
Yeah.
season, which is weird.
Mhm. The
It's
playoffs.
also weird. I think, like you were talking about, and like we've been discussing, the idea of the not knowing how certain picks and certain conditions will happen. I think we'll get news of those stipulations as the draft unfolds,
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna have
Sadly.
to tell us before.
or it'll be like in some buried article that comes out like without any real like it'll be like an NHL article from an NHL writer without any like big push behind it, just to
Yeah.
like because it's going to be confusing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. And they're talking about going straight to playoffs still too, aren't they? Not even really finishing the season, doing like a
If they
big
do
playoff,
the
24 team.
the 24 team.
I've seen stuff about 16, 20, and 24, so I just don't even know what the fuck is even going on. 24
Which
makes
is-
the most sense.
And which is interesting. So there's already teams eliminated from that format. So it was the Red Wings, Senators, Sharks, Kings, Ducks, Sabres, and Devils. So if that comes back, they're still not. They just don't have to play it all this year. So like they're just done,
Right.
which is crazy.
Time to quit working out, boys.
Yeah, I guess that.
It's off season, baby.
Hit the golf course a little earlier.
Exactly.
I
There you
mean,
go.
that's how it would have to happen if you did the 24 team. You'd have to
Yeah.
not have a resuming regular season.
And I
just
think
hit
they're-
playoffs.
I think they're best of 3 for the first series of games, and then it goes back into traditional playoffs. The thing that I read.
Until it gets to 16.
Right.
Right.
And there's a couple teams in there that the eliminated teams that they could then start looking for new head coaches too. We had talked about that, like the Devils. They're on interim, I
Mhm.
think. There's a couple teams, so there's a lot of ramifications of when and how the season gets resumed.
I mean, depending
So,
on your fan bias, that's it's a practical, sort of fair, sensible way to get the season wrapped up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
sure.
If that's how we're going to do it. And my whole thing is like, all right, cool. We're going to do that. It just like, let's just do it when it's the right time. Let's not, hopefully we don't force it. Hopefully, and if it does take forever, it's because that's how long we had to wait for it to be safe. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We
Absolutely.
so the NFL schedule just came out a couple days ago.
Oh, shit.
And they like Ticketmaster is selling tickets to games. So
Wow.
Tyler is a big Tampa fan. So he bought tickets to the
Are
last
they
game of the
cheap or
season.
more expensive right now?
So he looked for the cheapest game, and it was the last game of the season against the Falcons, and he got 2 nosebleeds for like $300 together.
Total?
Yeah, but that was
Is
the
that good
cheapest.
by NFL prices? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like
that's
$100.
not cheap, but that's
Yes, like $100 a ticket is normally pretty good, but it really depends on where you're going to.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, these
in
tickets,
Tampa tickets, yeah.
right? They're skyrocketed this year because
Yeah.
of Gronk and Brady. But I just thought it was crazy that they're selling tickets to games that start in, I think, September.
I guess if you're betting on games that you'd actually be able to go to, buying the last game of the season is probably the
Right.
best idea. If there's any one that you can say, like,
Yeah,
is could
this
probably
game will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I
for
also
sure.
I was saw online someone said that they bought as much as they could in tickets just on the hopes that Ticketmaster will refund them because a lot of times they'll refund you in credit like 150%. And he's like, yeah, well, at some point I'm going to want to go to a concert, a sporting event, something. Might as well just get an extra 50% on whatever I invest now.
Yeah, I wish I had money to gamble on
Yeah, right.
refund money.
On refund
Yeah, right.
on refund policies.
Jesus.
He's like, this
On
is
a-
an investment.
On a clear exploitation of a refund policy.
Yeah.
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 Wish I had an Armenian bank account that could just fucking funnel that venture. Sick. Yeah.
Is
no, it's-
NFL are they doing a capacity cut? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I feel like they're
The
not doing anything
CFL
different.
the CFL canceled their season.
Did they?
Mhm.
Well, you know.
Yeah, it's Canadian football,
Yeah.
Isn't that just
So-
soccer?
Are you an
not
idiot?
football.
It's Canadian American football.
That shit's funny.
Play on the pitch.
So, in unsurprising news,
Not so funny news.
not so funny, unsurprising chain of events. Mr. Leipzig has been waived by the Washington Capitals with the purpose of terminating his contract. He has the ability to sign with a team who wants to pick him up. No one's going to pick that dude up. His agent's going to probably do a half-assed job of trying to sell him to somebody before he resigns as his agent or gets himself fired. And then this dude's probably never going to play in the NHL ever again for
Bug in
his
the head.
the way he was kind of behaving. And there's a lot of people making the argument of like, hey, he was in a private conversation. He was saying things to people well outside of the organization, unrelated to his job, and he shouldn't be penalized in any way by his job. It's not what he said. I guess it is what he said. The thing is if you're going to behave that way, you got to be ready to accept the consequences. They not come with that like on paper or by law, right? Because there's freedom of speech, but with the way you can't control how people react to the things you do or
Exactly.
say. You can't control it. So if you're going to do or say anything out there, you should move in such a way where you're not going to be too worried about how people are going to react to it.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Do they know who leaked? Like, was it someone in his group chat that screenshotted shit and leaked it? Or?
Someone in the group chat, their account got hacked, and that group message got happened upon. Someone was like, "Oh shit!"
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
that's Leipzig's story though.
That might be his story, but either way, I mean, it definitely. And the only reason you can say it definitely wasn't Leipzig's account is because all the screenshots of the messages are not him. They're not from him. You know?
Right.
I think it was someone. I mean, realistically, I think it was just someone in that chat who was like, "All right, I gotta fucking show
This motherfucker still owes me
He probably
$50.
didn't, like, send it to the people who made it public, but he probably shared it enough to where it got
Yeah.
shared enough.
Shared it to
where
one
next thing you
person who was
know-
like, "Dude, look at this crazy shit that
Right.
this NHL player's saying," and then
And what you don't want to do is make the argument of like, oh, well, be careful who's in your group chats and all that. Like, yes and no, right? Like you want to have, if you're going to have conversations and have banter and jokes and conversations that you don't want to be public, then that, then seek those people out, I guess. But at the same time, in your daily life, don't be a piece of shit. Some of the stuff this
Yeah.
guy said is unreprehensible. It's wrong.
yeah. I was gonna say there's like the whole like joking and banter thing, and then but the stuff they were saying, it was just like they were just like throwing like insults. Like it was just like, look at this piece of shit type stuff. Just like,
And they just sounded like, it's all
It was-
text, right? You can't really
Yeah.
hear the tone, but it all just sounded like bitter and like just like jealous. And
yeah, it was real. Yeah,
Mhm.
not a good look. And it
dude,
is
the chick he was
definitely
calling
awful.
fat was fucking sexy as hell. She was stacked.
Yeah, yeah.
What's going on here?
It was all yeah. That
What's
was some
going
gross
on?
shit. Now I do want to. Where do you guys stand on the conversation that's come up where people are saying, yeah, this is great and all, but if he had been a star player, not some rotational fourth line depth guy, that the team doesn't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like
think,
with
yes,
the Capitals, they threw out, obviously, if Ovechkin gets caught, then,
Well, I mean, you
That's
just
a
bring it
problem.
back to the whole Kuzi thing. I mean, they did punish him, but not,
yeah,
to a certain extent.
But also with Kuznetsov, it was him, doing stuff to his own body
there's a way you can look
Yeah.
at this as a form of bullying and a form of
harassment and all that. Yeah.
harassment and because these people who had these things said about them are put in a position where they could feel like people are thinking that about
Yeah.
them.
Right.
He was
I
talking.
agree
I
with
mean, he
what
was
he's
talking
saying.
shit about his line mates. He was talking shit about Hathaway and Dowd, talking shit about other NHL players' wives and girlfriends. Like it was real,
Yeah,
like
it's
weirdly
way,
personal attacks. Like it was
way deeper than
yeah.
just saying like something like saying not that this would be any better if not worse, but not like he just didn't try to say like a racist joke that wasn't funny or make like a
Right.
sexist joke that wasn't funny. He was just saying mean shit, and
Yeah.
some of his buddies were like, "Yeah, for sure," and some of them were
Bet.
just like, "I don't know, dude." Like
Yeah,
it was just like it was all just like super.
It's kind of like, let's move on past this type
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Now, again, we mentioned this too on the Scrum. Check out Scrum. You can see it on YouTube. You can talk
It's
about
on
it.
YouTube.
Every Wednesday,
Our group
sometimes
chat's
Thursday.
ain't clean. I know I'll hit up the Chell chat every once in a while, bitching about some shit that pissed me off, got me triggered in the middle of the day. But I'm definitely not like, yo, peep this lady right here and look how ugly she is. Look how ugly this woman is right here as a
Just
woman.
unprovoked, unnecessary,
Rage.
Yeah.
even provoked. You wouldn't
Right.
really do
Yeah.
that.
No,
Now, we'll
our
roast-
group chats look nothing like that group chat. Like just flat out nothing like that group chat. Don't
No, a
wink.
little bit
Don't
more.
wink.
Yo,
Don't
he
wink, Dylan.
told everyone I murdered animals. I can I can take a crack
I guess
at
that's
y'all
fair.
being a little sexist. Like,
I guess that's fair.
Do you think he'll end up with Bill Peters playing for that team?
Oh, definitely. They're gonna
It
be
would
over
only
there
make
being
sense,
pieces
right?
of shit together.
Yeah, fuck, man. Yeah, no, he'll be in the KHL. That's
But But dude,
KHL don't give a
what? So
fuck.
like with the superstars thing, is that just it is what it is?
I think yes and no. It depends. To be perfectly honest, if Ovechkin got caught doing the same thing, would he get waived? No.
No,
Swept under the rug.
But would there be something? Yeah, there'd be something.
There'd be
there would have to be something.
the
There'd
public
be
backlash wouldn't be
suspensions.
different. I don't think.
Oh no.
The
So-
Public
if
backlash
anything,
would definitely
if
be the
anything,
same.
it'd
It'd
be
be
worse.
Yeah,
It'd be worse. Half the people's responses are just like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Right.
yeah.
Like,
Especially ever since they
people
got Kovalchuk, he hadn't even been playing. Like he
right?
was
Like the
a
whole
no
thing
one.
is people aren't surprised. I feel like part of that storyline is like because he's a man and he's a white guy and all that stuff. But I think at the exact same time, you're not surprised because he's not a superstar. If he was a superstar of his background, you'd be much more surprised. And that's just how that kind of goes. Yes or no?
I don't really know what you said. You were
You kind of lagged out a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that lag out. No,
Yeah.
I was saying, regardless of culturally where you come from, if you're a superstar, you're gonna be more surprised if they do that.
Absolutely.
Right.
I also think a superstar who's aware they're a superstar would be way more fucking careful.
See, I was gonna say with the
think
superstars,
so,
I'm
they-
more surprised
You'd hope.
they get caught than I am surprised that they'd be a shitty person. You know what I mean?
Either way,
Fair
it's all elevated because a lot again, the people's argument is like he shouldn't be held to the standard in his personal life in private conversations, and a lot of people are saying, well, no, if you're a professional athlete in the public eye, you're held to a pedestal. The same, and this is a relative no one. He plays for one of my favorite teams. I couldn't even remember he was on the fucking roster
Yeah.
when he's Newsbro. He's a nobody
Yeah.
in the fucking league. I'm not obviously not that knowledgeable, but he's still a relative nobody. If this was a superstar, they're gonna have the magnifying glass, the microscope on them times 12.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If Ovechkin got caught saying the same thing, there would definitely be some actual punishment consequence from it. He wouldn't get waived though. So
Definitely wouldn't get waived.
maybe that's
And-
unfair.
And for Canes fans, the same thing goes for guys like Aho and Svetch. Like if something like this came out, I've never gotten the impression that they're those type of people. But if something like this came out, we're probably not waiving them either. If we're going to be honest.
Let's go ahead and talk about. Let's go ahead and use the Pasternak thing that just happened as an example. Did you guys hear about that?
What
What'd he
happened
do?
again?
It was the quickest uncancel thing you've ever seen in your life. He was streaming Fortnite and something was happening and whatever it was, he called it gay. He said that's gay. And,
Poor guy.
And then immediately he was like, oh, can't say that. Like out loud, he was like, I can't say that. And
Respect.
moved on. And that was it.
To it.
That was it.
Right.
Right. Everyone got pretty upset. But ironically, maybe not unsurprisingly, most people's reaction was like, "Come on, like yeah, he shouldn't have said
Right.
that, but
Yeah.
like let's just
Old
relax."
habit, caught himself immediately.
He immediately
moved
caught
on from
himself
it.
too,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
like
It,
give him
it,
that
it definitely
credit.
speaks to a different side of there's that subculture of gaming. I was on Call of Duty earlier in some pubs, and motherfuckers are this one dude at the end of the match just started singing the N-word. Just started singing it into just
Jesus.
so I mean, it's fucking everywhere, and
Classic
it's definitely
Xbox stuff.
yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just it. It's definitely one of those things where you don't want to just be like, hey, that's just Xbox. Like it's a
Yeah.
bigger problem. I don't think Pasternak's part of that problem though.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yep.
but to the point, Jacob, he's a star. He did this. If that was a Leipzig type of player, would he get waived for it? Probably not.
If what? Oh, if Pasternak?
If like a Leipzig did the same thing as what Pasternak did, would he get waived?
Oh, probably not.
Would he get
Probably
nothing?
not waived. He would probably get something because that's a guy you can make some sort of example of. Make him do
Pasternak's not gonna
like
get anything. I don't think.
most like make him do some sort of like public relations, like show ups. You know what I mean? One of those
Yeah.
things. But he probably would not have gotten waived for doing what
Well,
Pasternak
with
did.
Pasternak getting any punishment, I mean, is that still fair?
I would say yeah, because I kind of agree that what he did wasn't egregious for Pasternak.
I think it's on
Pasternak's
very two
case.
different levels.
I'm only comparing it to if a Leipzig level of player did it and did get some consequence.
Oh,
I
is
don't
it
think
fair?
Pasta should. Would that be fair? Probably not.
Probably not. No, but
I don't know. I'm saying. I don't think Pasta should be punished for what he did. I think he was pretty aware immediately thereafter that it was a incorrect thing to say. And you live and you fucking learn, dude. The guy's still like 26,
Exactly.
25 years old. I mean, goddamn.
Exactly.
It's interesting though. It's interesting.
Definitely.
We all how we evolve as a society and how we choose to speculate over people's morals based on what they do and don't do and say and don't say.
It's like pick your battles means nothing, Take every fucking battle you can.
2020, baby. Square
2020.
up. Let's
An
fucking
exhausting way to live.
Defend everything.
No
yeah,
shit,
straight
Cody.
up. I don't get it, man. Like
No
even if you
shit.
care that much, I don't get how you fucking. It's a lot.
Well, you're
I do
fueled by the
it
rage.
through like
You're
6 or
fueled
7
by the-
different Twitter accounts personally. That
You're fueled by the rage and the hate for that thing that you don't agree with.
It's fair.
I coordinate social media assaults on various celebrities through my 6 or 7 Twitter accounts.
Talk about satisfying.
Dude, I never feel better than when I get those hundreds of likes through all 6 or 7 accounts, dude.
Combine all 6 and 7 gets you about 100.
Yeah, it gives me it averages out to 100. I had one go off, and it's been holding up my average for
It's
a
a
while.
big outlier.
It's been holding up your ego.
Yeah.
It's been holding up
Hey,
your fucking
gotta prop it
weak-
on something, dude.
It's been holding
For
up your
sure.
weak mental state.
It's all I've got in these 4 walls, man. It's all I've got is just lashing out online. It's the only place that's real anymore. It's the only communal gathering space we
I
have left.
hear you, Kane's Twitter. So, any other
Good stuff.
NHL news, boys?
Just that Romanov signing, Canadian sign Alexander Romanov, young dude. The contract language kind of interesting. I guess there's still talk of whether or not they're going to let guys play who have been signed if the season continues.
Which they shouldn't.
Yeah, I would say not.
Doesn't
but
make any sense.
Not at all. But I am kind of excited to see this dude play. He's a big body, good skater, and plays with an edge. I was watching highlights of him the other day.
Canadians need that.
Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
Man,
So
as much as we shit on that team and their fan base, I gotta feel a little bit bad for them, right?
a little. I
Fuck
mean,
'em.
they're kind of at where we were years ago, where no one really wants to play there. You have a couple bright spots, but not really like a superstar bright spot.
You just look at,
yeah,
like,
Carey
who they-
Price, but
You look at who they have and who they've acquired through trades in the draft recently, and like the way people talked up Kotkaniemi and the way you would hope Domi, and he's done much better, but the way you would hope he would blossom even more. You'd think Domi would do like Chuck level numbers, having left Arizona, and you're just not really seeing a lot of Druin's not really shining.
yeah,
like
Druin's
you should.
been kind of disappointing. But there, that's what it is. I think that I like Domi. I think I like him as a player. I think he'll be okay. He blew up when he first got to Montreal, but it's been
He's improved. He's
Yeah.
definitely improved greatly. He's their star player. If anything, it's just like
Yeah.
you know, they
Yeah.
need more. They need
definitely
that
need more.
that driving force. Could have been
It's too
It
bad.
was never gonna be, but
Never gonna be, dude. That's our finished boy. Boy.
Hands off. But yeah, I think that's 63.
This whole 63.
It's a
dude.
wrap.
In a
Did a
bag.
good job.
Jacob.
What up?
Where can they find us?
Do it.
You can find us at Talkin Sauce Pod, no underscore. Respect the underscore. Hit us, Hockey MC, CanCHELation Cup. Hit us up. I guess when this drops, it'll be yesterday was the last day to sign up. But
Sign up.
still hit us up. You
Go
know,
back
maybe,
in time
maybe,
and sign up. Oh,
maybe
we'll
it
get you
out.
in.
Yeah,
Hit us
we'll
up,
try.
we'll get
You know
you
what I'm
in.
saying? It's
Fuck
really
it.
not that serious of a thing. Like,
Yeah, hit us
deadlines are
up.
very workable.
Probably still put that link in the description. We'll make it work. We'll
Definitely,
figure it out.
Find
Send that
me
link.
at JCobb, JAY_COBBB. Watch this that you're listening to on YouTube, or if you're watching it, listen to it on Spotify, Apple Music, all that.
Listen to it while you're watching. Hit play on both at the same time. It'll
We
trick
Try
you
to
gotta
out.
sync them up. It can be a
We
game.
need them numbers.
It's like surround sound. Josh, where can they get you at?
Eebs, TEABZZ.
Cody, where they get you at?
at CD_2187.
Dylan, where they find you at?
Find me on Reddit. That's u/tbags, your mom, lowercase x, capital X. Check out all our puppies. See a lot of pictures of Marvin coming up. Get ready for that. You just search that tag, dog. I'm gonna have it flying across the screen. You got it. Stay beautiful. We'll see you next week.